imagine that she likes someone. No, I mean really, really, really likes someone. To the point where you would do almost anything for them. Sounds perfect, right? But now I want you to imagine that that same person doesn't even know you exist. Not so perfect. In order to get that person's attention, you might find yourself doing something drastic and out of your character. Something that people may consider a little crazy. A geek, a nerd, a bookworm. I can really myself. Stand straight, toes back, jump up, eyes forward, smile. It was a useless task. I put my glasses back on and slouched into my usual character. I immediately regretted his decision as he walked into the room. His eyes barely flickered at me upon his entrance. Coughing and clearing my throat in order to be acknowledged just seemed hopeless and pathetic. I pulled out my neatly organized binder labeled History, and I stole a glance at him as he sat at the desk beside me. He appeared just as he had in my dream last night. Flawless. Everything about him was perfect. His smile, the one string of hair always fell into his eyes, and oh, those eyes! He must have felt me staring, because then he turned to look at me. I dropped my gaze to my binder and pretended to be looking for a worksheet. I didn't dare to peek to see if he was still looking. Instead, I directed my attention toward the window. The summer sun made my eyes sweat. Ironically, I'm spending my summer in school. Not because I failed any classes, unlike every other student here. No. I just have this incredible yearning to learn, and I want to get the most out of my high school career. More simply put, I'm a geek, a nerd, a bookworm. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught his hand ready to tap my shoulder. Every muscle in my body froze. His touch was so light that I barely felt his fingers. I turned to face him with my eyes fixed on the floor. In that instant, I just didn't feel worthy to look at him. The homework from last night. Did you finish it? Well, of course I finished it. I also finished tonight's assignment. Do you not know who I am? I am the single most intelligent person in the school. Countless hours I spend in front of my computer screen. The force behind me is being pushed by an even greater force. Someday I'll be so fond of the land of outcasts and no one said, all I have left is my laptop. Oh, but of course I haven't entered that kingdom yet. No, for now I'm just content knowing that there's one thing in life that I actually don't know, and that's what you're thinking right now. I cleared my throat. Yes, I did the homework. Well, I was a little stumped on number 13. Do you know the answer? With one swift movement, he put his pencil behind his ear. Me? I said. What? You're the answer? He asked, completely confused. Oh, no. Oh, I can feel my cheeks burning. If I'm such a brain, how could I have made such a mistake? I look like a fool. I had practiced what I would say to this boy if he ever talked to me 1,000 times over. Supposedly, the conversation would casually lead to a rendezvous. He would laugh at my wit and think no one was funnier than I. I took a deep breath. Franklin, Prose, Jefferson, that's the answer. Thanks, he said, as he thoughtfully jotted down the answer and turned from his worksheet to the fake blonde behind him. He tried to impress her using his humor. She barely chuckled. I would have laughed uproariously. But then I remembered the joke wasn't intended for me. I watched her body motions as she leaned forward and twirled strands of her perfectly straight hair around her perfectly manicured fingers. Any closer and their noses are going to be touching. I nonchalantly pushed my pencil off my desk. Oops. Distracted, he shifted his attention from her to the floor. He bit down and picked at my pencil that was half gnawed on from my nerves. And his nose, closer to mine than it had been to hers, might I add. Goosebumps ran down my arms and my heart raced. Never before had he shown this much interest in me. And then, as if that moment were just a figment of his imagination, he turned from me back to his beauty queen. Disappointed, I leaned forward and hunched on my hand. And watched in awe as she brought out her lip balm, and with much exaggeration, she moistened her lips and pressed them together. He couldn't take the perfect eyes of his off of her. I wanted to shake him, make him wake up. This girl is a complete fake. Behind her beauty queen exterior is an empty, wasted space. Someday we will save each other, I silently vowed. In an unconventional way, we're similar. Both of us are in dire need of being saved from our fantasy worlds. This alone is ground for building a relationship, right? Tonight, I'm going to go to Walmart and buy a hair-dyed lip balm. Or maybe I'll walk around the mall and try to find the shirt she was wearing. I should take advantage of the summer sun and get a broad skin tone. Who am I kidding? I'll probably end up doing homework all night. No. Tonight, I will practice. Practice standing straight, shoulders back, chin up, eyes forward, smile. And maybe tomorrow I'll ask me for number 14.